Recently, there was the 25th anniversary for Donkey Kong Country, and wow, I can't believe it's that old. This game's really important, and it's one of the most graphically impressive games on the SNES. So today on Retro Look, we will be looking at the original Donkey Kong Country. So let's go ahead and get started. Donkey Kong Country was released on the SNES in 1994, and this was a really graphically impressive game for the time, especially on the SNES. So, this game was developed by Rare and then published by Nintendo, and it has like 3D pre-rendered graphics on it, which were actually pretty cool on the SNES, and it looks a lot different from most games on the SNES, and the design of Donkey Kong was completely changed for this game. And this game was a part of the Donkey Kong and Mario franchise. Technically, you could say it's a part of the Mario franchise too. And it's really interesting because they had a draft of where they'd have the original Donkey Kong and then Rare's design of Donkey Kong and then their 3D rendered design of Donkey Kong. So originally, when they were making the game, they made a 3D model of Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong and some of the other things in the game, and then they rendered them into 2D for the SNES. So technically, they have a 3D appearance, and they're kind of in 3D, but they're kind of on a 2D surface on the SNES, and this is all running in 16-bit, which is actually really graphically impressive. And a lot of the songs on the game are also really good quality for the SNES, and most of the songs are composed by David Wise, and he had to individually change some of the sounds on the SNES to make a specific song, kind of like aquatic ambience and other songs like that. And this is a really interesting game. It's really fun. The platforming is really well, and it changed a lot of the things you'd normally find in a platforming game, and really revolutionized the whole genre. And it's one of the best platforming games on the SNES, and it's really fun, and it's a really good game. There were a lot of new features and things in this game also. Starting with the characters, they have Donkey Kong, which is actually technically Donkey Kong Jr.'s son. So technically Donkey Kong could be considered a new character, even though it's the older character. Then Cranky Kong is his grandfather, which is the original Donkey Kong. And then they have Diddy Kong, which is, I believe it's Donkey Kong's cousin or Donkey Kong's nephew or something like that. And then there's also Candy Kong, Cranky Kong, Funky Kong, and then there's also the animal friends, such as Rambi the Rhino, and then the Swordfish, the Frog, the Ostrich, and the Parrot. And then there's a ton of enemies too, which I'm not going to say on this video because there's a lot of them on here. And then there's also the Kremlings, which is a different type of enemy, which has different forms. And then the main boss of the game, the main antagonist, who's King K. Rool, and he appeared in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate recently. In this game, you basically have to collect the bananas because the Kremlings and King K. Rool stole his hoard of bananas, and so he has to go around the island and try to get all of his bananas back. And it's a really fun game. It's really interesting. A lot of the visuals look really nice in this game. So now we are going to play this game. So I have an emulator, and I don't have this game on the SNES, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so we have the game running here, and let's go ahead and get started. So here we are, Congo Jungle. I did play this game on my channel before a couple of years ago. but that was before I had the Elgato capture card, so the quality wasn't that good. I'm recording this using the keyboard, so it's like not really the best controls. This game actually looks really well for the SNES, kind of like how I was saying earlier. So basically, like, another thing about this game is that you have, like, both Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. There we go, we got Donkey Kong back. Then there's a lot of collectibles in this game also. There we go. And there's an extra life. And another extra life. Let's go on to the next level. These raining effects on the SNES are actually pretty impressive also. Because they're kind of like an animation on here. With the background and everything, I think that's another interesting thing they have on here. Like, honestly, like they don't entirely look like sprites. I mean, like, if you look at them from a distance and you're not really paying attention or looking closely, they really do look 3D. Like, it's only if you look close up at their models, they do, they kind of look like 2D. But I can't believe this game is 25 years old. I mean, like, this game came out, like, in 1994, and then its sequel, Donkey Kong Country 2, came out in 1995, and then Donkey Kong Country 3 came out in 1996 after the Nintendo 64 came out. So there were more graphically impressive games by the time the third game came out, but this game is kind of the first of its time. Yoshi's Island was originally supposed to have graphics like this, but Miyamoto didn't really want it to look like this. So he decided it would have the art style that it has. But you could see, like at the opening cutscene on Yoshi's Island, Baby Mario kind of looks like this style here, the 3D pre-rendered sprites on here. But I mean, like, they still used Yoshi's Island still used similar techniques that this game used. So there were some like things used in here. And this game didn't even use the Super FX chip. It just used the regular SNES processor and like the game card. This is kind of hard because I'm playing with a keyboard. Oh my gosh. I was so close. There we go. Okay. They also released Game Boy sequels to these games, and like a kind of like another series called Donkey Kong Land, which has a similar style to this game. And they remade this game on the Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance. There we go. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Goodbye.